Hello students, this is Pallab Darbari, your host, and you are watching Pallab Darbari classes. In this video we will discuss stats, class 11th. The chapter that we will discuss today is collection of data. This is the first volume of the chapter, collection of data. In this video we will discuss two topics, that is sources of data, and the second topic is method of data collection. Let us see what is data. Remember, data is a collection of facts and measurement. And remember one thing, data is a tool. What we do with this tool? This tool helps in reaching a sound conclusion by providing information about the problem. So what is data? Data is a fact. It works as a tool which gives the information about the happenings around us, and with the help of information about the happenings around us, we can come to the conclusion, can draw the policies, and try all our level best to evade the problem. For statistics, investigation, collection of data is the first and the foremost step. Let us see the sources of the data. Remember one thing, we are having two sources of data. First one is the primary source and the other one is called the secondary source. Let us see what is primary source. Listen, primary source of data implies collection of data from its origin. Listen, when we are talking about the primary source, it means when the data is being collected for the first time by the enumerator himself on the basis of his problems, on the basis of the information he want to gather. That is called primary source. In the very simple word, we can say that primary data is the first hand information. Opposite to that, we are having the secondary source. What is secondary source? Secondary source of data implies collection of data from some agency or institutions. This is the second hand information. The data which is being collected by others and used by us is called the secondary data. In the case of the secondary data, we have to adjust ourselves, because the purpose of the secondary data is not that of our purpose. We are simply adjusting it. Now let us see the difference between the primary data and the secondary data. Firstly, let us see the meaning. Primary data refers to the first hand information, whereas the secondary data means the data collected by someone else earlier. On the basis of the data, we can say that it is a real-time information, it is a past information. Let us see the third point of difference, that is the process. It is very involved, and in the case of the secondary data, the quick information can be fetched. Let us see the source. The sources which we use in the primary data is survey, observation, experimentation, questionnaire, and so on. Whereas in the case of the secondary data, the sources are government publication, website, books, etc. Cost effective, we can say that primary data is cost effective. Is it cost effective? Primary data is very expensive, whereas the secondary data is economical. We don't have to spend more money. Next is time period. Just to fetch or just to get the information from the primary source, we have to devote more time period, whereas the secondary data can be collected in toto. Specification. Remember one thing, the primary data always is specified to the researcher's need. We get the primary data according to our requirement, where in the case of the secondary data, we have to adjust ourselves. On the basis of the accuracy and the reliability, we can say that primary data is more accurate, whereas the secondary data is relatively less accurate. Now let us see the sources of the primary data. In the case of the primary data, we are having certain sources. For example, we are having the direct personal investigation, we are having indirect oral investigation, we are having information through local sources, and at the end we are having information through questionnaires and schedules. We will discuss one by one all these sources of the primary data. Let us start with the direct personal investigation. Listen, the direct personal investigation is that method under which the data personally collected by the investigator himself from the informants. So what we do under the direct personal investigation, under the direct personal investigation, the enumerator himself go to the market, collect the information of his own from the informants. Let us see the suitability, where we can think of applying the direct personal investigation. Listen, the suitability is where the field of investigation is very limited. Where the area of investigation is very limited, we can think of direct personal investigation. Second is where the degree of originality is needed, where according to the own specification we need the information. We ourselves go fetch the information from the informant. So we apply the direct personal investigation over there. Next is where the information has to be kept secret, where the secrecy has to be maintained. We opted the direct personal investigation method. The next one is where the direct contact is mandatory. There we apply the direct personal investigation. Now let us see the merits. The first merit of the direct personal investigation is original. The information collected from the direct personal investigation is the original information. This is the first hand information, and this is the information that we have collected of our own. So it is original information. We have not taken it from any other person. Next is accuracy. We are collecting the information of our own, so we can totally rely, and whatever the information we have collected, we have taken all the preventive measures, so the information is 100% correct. No adulteration is there. The next is reliable, since the information is collected by the enumerator himself, so he can blindly rely on it. Next is related information. According to the problems, the information is collected, so it is a related information. We don't have any irrelevant information. The next is uniformity. The same type of the information is being collected. For example, if we want to know why the consumers are not purchasing our product, so relating to this topic we have collected the information. So uniformity is there. Now let us see the demerits, why this method is not suitable. The first is, if the area of the investigation is wide, then we can't think of applying this method. That is the first drawback. Second is a personal bias of the investigator. The person, most of the time we have seen that we are having some opinion about the person, and according to the opinion we drag the information from the person. So if we drag the information according to the prior opinion relating to the person, then definitely the information is a biased information. That happens in the case of the direct personal investigation. The next is costly, time consuming, more efforts has to be put. In this method, the area of investigation is small, so limited coverage is there. So limited information we can get. Now let us see the indirect oral investigation. In this method, the information is obtained not from the person to whom the information should be obtained. Rather, we take the information from the third person who is having the information about this very person. Clear? Where we can think of applying this method? Where the area of the investigation is very large. So what we do when the area of the investigation is very large, we take the information from one single person who is having the information of all the people living in the locality. So there we apply the indirect oral investigation. Where the direct contact is not possible from the informants, then we have to rely indirect method, and we collect the information from a person who is having the information of the person from whom the information we want to get. The next is if the investigation is a very complex nature, is very complicated procedure, and we can't do of our own, we have to need the services of the expert, then there we can think of applying the indirect OLED investigation, because it will work. Now let us see the merits of this method. This method can be applied even when the field of investigation is very wide. There is a first benefit. Second is, this is relatively less expensive method. Third is, when we use this method, we can take the help of the experts. This method is free from personal bias of the investigator. So these are the merits of this method. Now let us see the demerits. The first demerit is the data collected by this method is relatively less accurate. Why? Because the information is not obtained directly from the person from whom the information should be obtained. We have chosen the indirect channel. We are asking the information from the other person who is having the information relating to the person from whom the information should be obtained. So the information cannot be accurate. Next is, there is a possibility of personal bias of the witness who is giving the information to us. Next is this method may lead to doubtful conclusion due to carelessness of the witness. If the witness is careless, then the information that we get is also doubtful. Now let us see the next one, that is information from local sources. Under this method, the investigator appoints local person. For example, if you are living in Surat and you want to collect the information from the nearby areas, then what we do, we appoint the person of the living in the local areas nearby to Surat, and that local person give the information to us relating to that area. So that is called information from local sources. Mostly the news channels opted this method, that is local sources. Let us see the suitability. The suitability is more or less the same that we have seen in the case of the indirect oral investigation. This method is suitable when the regular information is being needed and we need continuous information. As I told you, this method mostly opted by the news channels because they need the regular and the continuous information. Next is where the area of investigation is very large. We can't think of getting the information directly from the people. So we opted this method, that is information from local sources. Next is where the high degree of accuracy is not needed. We only need the idea about the problems. We can go for this method, that is information from local sources. Now let us see the merits. This method is quite economical and time saving. Second is this method coverage large area. Next is this method is particularly suitable where the special purpose of the investigation. Suppose if we want to know the price quotations, we can apply this method. So this method is suitable for some special purpose only, not for every purpose. Next is demerits. The first demerit is that originality of that data is sacrificed because we are not getting the information, collecting the information of our own. Next is there is lack of uniformity of data. Same type of the data will not be obtained. भैया आपका प्रोडक्ट क्यों नहीं यूज कर रहा, उसका इंफॉर्मेशन लेनी थी, बंदा बता रहा है कि सैलरी पैकेज क्या चल रहा है. फाइन. सो दिस मेथड सफर फ्रॉम पर्सनल बायस ऑफ द कॉरेस्पॉन्डेंस अपनी सोच के हिसाब से डेटा कलेक्ट करके दे रहा है, तो हो सकता है उसकी सोच से इन्फ्लुएंस्ड हो आपका डेटा. Now let us see information through questionnaires and schedules. Under this method, इस मेथड में हम लोग क्या करते हैं, we prepare the questionnaires. हम लोग क्वेश्चनियर बना लेते हैं, जो जो आपने पूछना है वो क्वेश्चनियर्स में लिख लेते हैं और हम लोग उन क्वेश्चनियर को फिल करवा के इंफॉर्मेशन ले लेते हैं. अब क्वेश्चनियर के दो मेथड होते हैं, या तो हम लोग क्वेश्चनियर को मेल कर दें, जिसको हम लोगों ने मेल किया है वो मेल खोलेगा, क्वेश्चनियर फिल करेगा और हमें बैक कर देगा मेल, एंड दैट वेरी पर्सन विल revert back the mail to us and we get the information. दूसरा इसमें क्वेश्चन में मेथड क्या होता है कि enumerators method. Under the enumerator method what happens, the person will go give the questionnaire, ask the people to fill the questionnaire, they will assess the people as well while filling the questionnaire. So two methods are being used through the questionnaire. One is mailing method and the other one is called enumerator method. Clear? Now let us see the qualities of the good questionnaire. अच्छी questionnaires में qualities क्या होंगी. पहला है the number of the questions in a questionnaire should be limited. भाई आज के time period में nobody is having the time period to fill the booklet. They simply want 5-6 questions should be I mean if you give or ask 5-3 questions they can give, they will cooperate, otherwise they will not cooperate. Next is language of the questionnaire should be very simple and lucid and clear. अगर लैंग्वेज आपने बड़ी कॉम्प्लिकेटेड लिखी हुई है, इट इज इम्पॉसिबल, द पर्सन विल नॉट अंडरस्टैंड, दे विल रिटर्न द क्वेश्चन टू यू, भैया माफ करो वापस ले लो. द क्वेश्चंस मस्ट बी इन अ प्रॉपर ऑर्डर, सीक्वेंशियल ऑर्डर में क्वेश्चन होने चाहिए, रेलिवेंट क्वेश्चन होने चाहिए. पहले आप नाम पूछेंगे, एड्रेस पूछेंगे, ये नहीं होगा कि पहले आप पूछे कि एड्रेस पूछ रहे फिर नाम पूछ रहे हैं, ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए, सीक्वेंशियल ऑर्डर में हो. अनडिजायरेबल क्वेश्चंस जहां तक पॉसिबल हो यू शुड अवॉइड इट. Controversial questions should not be asked, avoid. Calculation जहां तक possible हो आप avoid करिए because people are having the phobia. Most of the people are afraid of mathematics. जहां पे मैथ्स देखते हैं वो डरने लगते हैं, कांपने लगते हैं. So जहां तक possible हो avoid calculations. Questionnaires भरवाने से पहले informants ट्रायल बेसिस पे खुद सॉल्व करके देख ले. जिससे उसे पता लग जाए कैसे क्वेश्चन पूछना है, कैसे फिल करवाना है। इंस्ट्रक्शन शुड बी क्लियरली मेंशन्ड कि भाई कैसे टिक लगाना है, कैसे फिल करना है, वो भी इंफॉर्मेशन आप दे दें। Now let us see the sources of the secondary data. प्राइमरी डेटा आपने देख लिया, सोर्सेज भी आपने प्राइमरी डेटा का देख लिया। नाउ वी विल डिस्कस द सोर्सेज ऑफ द सेकेंडरी डेटा। अब सेकेंडरी डेटा के सोर्सेज की बात करें तो दो सोर्सेज होते हैं, पब्लिश्ड और अनपब्लिश्ड। पब्लिश्ड के अंदर आपके गवर्नमेंट पब्लिकेशंस आता है, सेमी गवर्नमेंट पब्लिकेशंस आता है, रिपोर्ट्स ऑफ कमिटीज आता है, कमीशंस आता है, जर्नल्स न्यूज़पेपर की जो रिपोर्ट होती है वो आता है, इंटरनेशनल पब्लिकेशंस आता है। अनपब्लिश की अगर बात करूं तो क्या होता है, द स्टैटिस्टिक डेटा नीड नॉट ऑलवेज बी पब्लिश। जरूरी नहीं कि सारा का सारा स्टैटिस्टिकल डेटा पब्लिश्ड ही होता है। देयर आर वेरियस सोर्सेज ऑफ अनपब्लिश्ड डेटा। बहुत सारे अनपब्लिश्ड डेटा होते हैं, जैसे स्कॉलर्स ने, पीएचडी होल्डर्स हैं, उन लोगों ने डेटा कलेक्ट किया था, रखा हुआ है, उनका डेटा यूज कर लें। बिजनेस एंटरप्राइजेज ने अपने हिसाब से डेटा कलेक्ट करा हुआ था, रखा था, पब्लिश तो ही ना करेंगे। दीज आर द अनपब्लिश्ड सोर्सेज ऑफ डेटा। That's all I have in this video. Thanks for watching. God bless you all. Dear subscribers, if you have not subscribed my channel, please subscribe the channel and don't forget to press the bell icon so that whenever I upload the new video, you get the notification.